with Six Sense for a short interview. Today is June 8th, and we're doing this interview for Hip Hop Underground, which is an organizing a network platform for the underground hip hop community. And how you doing?
Good. Shouts out. Definitely good looking out. I'm here.
Okay, so for those who are not very familiar with Six Sense, please briefly tell us about yourself and your music.
Well, Six Sense is like you can go into Google. First of all, Google Six Sense if you don't know. I'm mostly renowned for my esoteric knowledge and also my rap. Also working with other musicians for the last, let's say, about a good 7 years. Frequently on and off the internet, and also doing other feature projects. So my name is pretty much out there as far as an underground scene is. So now it's trying to get mainly to other venues and other publics.
Okay, so let's talk about Six Sense as a private person. Six Sense. You joined the U.S. Army in 1996, which led you to currently live in Germany. Are you still active in the armed forces?
No, I'm not in the military anymore.
Okay, why haven't you considered returning to the U.S.?
Well, right now I'm in Europe, and I can say one thing about Europe is that it gives me my room and my space to be creative, and I had so much influence from the outside. Being in America, you have so much influence by pop culture and media, and so what things so have you, that it's hard to concentrate on your own craft. So, one good reason about being in Europe too, that you can also be surrounded by a lot of different culture groups and a lot of different kind of influences that maybe you wouldn't find in America unless you go and seek that kind of, let's say, quote unquote, ethnic group or that type of culture. So it's basically a good learning point to learn about yourself and how you can get along with others too. So I can't knock it.
For how long have you been here?
I've been in Germany now for about 10 years.
10 years. For those not fully aware of the depth of your lyricism, now going back to the music part again, how are you able to captivate such listeners with your music, and what do you hope they will gain from it?
Well, I started off with doing my own videos, started editing my own videos on YouTube and on Google. Also with the information I was putting out there, I wasn't just putting out freestyle videos or whatever, I can rap videos. I was teaching a lot of people about a lot of questions about Christianity and about the Nephilim in the Bible, and also a lot of stuff the questions people ask during themselves when they listen to music that they don't get a chance to. And I think that was the bar. I used the internet and also video and imagery. That also goes back into my work when I was in the military, because I worked with imagery a lot. So it's kind of like giving people, my explanation is sometimes a word can resemble something, but a picture can resemble a whole bunch of words. Like one picture is worth 1,000 words. So basically what I did was kind of like use that inside of my videos, inside of my lyrics, to give people a pure picture of what I'm trying to convey. Not saying that I'm saying that you have to believe this one. I'm telling you, but there's facts and there's places you can go to find that out yourself, and that's my main objective was.
All right. So speaking of belief and belief systems, with the knowledge you constantly showcase in your music, which religions or spiritualities do you follow or study, and what beliefs and or philosophies do you follow?
Well, I can say for one thing, after learning about myself for the last awakening stages of now what we have, that you have to respect all religions. All religions have an elemental or a fundamental key that there is a higher being, there is an almighty power, regardless if you call him this for a lesser name or that. So I think first learning those different kind of cultures and those different kind of religious systems, then you can kind of confine yourself to a way that things don't become so imbalanced. You can say, oh, I don't believe this, I don't believe that. If it sits right with you in the heart, then that's what you follow. And that's why you have so many people believing in one religion or another. It depends on what you resonate with. So I don't shun on Islam or Christianity or Buddhism, because I respect all of it as coming from a Gnostic point of view, or Gnosticism, where they take all the information from all the religious bases and make a consensus of it for us so you can understand it, not from one aspect, but from the aspect that we have now it's today is through literature and books. So definitely, I wouldn't say I subscribe to one religion. I respect all of them, and I think all of them have essential keys of knowledge or where we can, be morally correct on the planet. But subscribing to one just causes maybe infliction on someone else, or and then this causes the major imbalance in between religion and belief, and why you have so many wars, bloodshed, just for someone believing in something or some ideology. So I stay pretty much neutral with that, and I say I respect all of it, and I can kind of like relate with everything. As long as you relate with God in some way, then you can relate to any kind of scripture,
So you don't limit yourself, basically, or you're not like exclusive in that sense.
No. Okay. When you're looking at God, you can't be closed-minded. You have to be open for different, different angles, even though that you might not sit with you right, as long as you take the time to evaluate it.
So, do you believe in God?
Yeah, of course. That's what makes this thing possible.
What is God for you?
Well, you can't say it's a person or an entity. It's a substance. I wouldn't even say a substance. It's like an ether. It's something that's there that you know, but you can't touch it or put it in physicality. God is not something that you say as a guy that's sitting on top of with a magic wand saying you're bad and you're good with a list. This is not Santa Claus. But basically, a
lot of people think that, huh?
Yeah, I don't know, but a lot of people get caught up between, what I'm disseminating in my songs about, Gnostic media and also astrotheology, is that this is how someone literally takes or looks at some type of scripture. Some people might have a different view of it, and it's all about the interpretation. So, you have to be very careful and have to be very open-minded for things, because some people might see one thing's different than you do, and that doesn't cause you to have a quarrel, but you can sit and discuss it.
Okay, so what are your views about the spiritual aspects, like or the more esoteric aspects, like tarot card readings and
crystals and stuff like that.
And crystals and
well, that
energy work and
that just goes. I think that just goes with knowing yourself and what you resonate with in life. Some people resonate with different things, and I think if anyone's on the path to lighten themselves, they're gonna find something that, if it's not beneficial for them to succeed or to go further or to prosper, then it's gonna be shunned to the side, and that's how it is. I think a lot of people, you have to make your choices direct, and then you have to either suffer the consequences or you prosper with the choice that you make.
Okay, we're going back to the music now. Your previous releases and even your debut album, Codex Magica, was heavily influenced on controversial topics such as conspiracy theories, occult science, and esoteric topics. With your newest installment, Can't Fight the Feeling, which dropped on June 1st, the vibe and themes of lyrics drastically shifted. Can you explain why your new album is completely different from your previous work?
Well, I had to take a time to actually listen to what I was saying and see if the people were understanding the message, first of all, what I'm saying. This opportunity with this album was to actually tell the people what's going on in the consensus of hip-hop as a whole. As of before, how it was, to the current state where I was in the underground, into now, into the future. So what it did, it didn't restrict me to this certain limited information that's always in the net, what people are talking about with this, esoteric rapping and conscious rap. It's all good and fine, don't get me wrong. But, some way we have to come up with something new. And I think this was my point, my turning point to say, all right, I'm not going to talk about this. I'm going to really talk about what's going on in everyday life, on like how it really is, and besides the music, And I'm just conveying my part actually through the music, what people have to understand. So it's not like you're going to be constantly updated with information. This is something that this music is the information. You don't have to update yourself constantly with the info. Like, okay, this is happening. Sometimes the day has to go on. You live the day.
Yeah, not like the providing the factual info all the time, but also just be in the moment.
Yeah, maybe? Exactly. That's what it was. And basically, the whole drive of the album, or the whole content of the album, was actually a self-reflection to say, all right, people want to hear this, but this is what I'm actually saying. So that was the whole shift.
So what are you saying for those who don't know?
Well, you have to listen to the whole album. Go to Bandcamp, go to Blissdance Records, Bandcamp, Can't Fight the Feeling. Listen to the whole album, and now listen to the prior stuff what I made from a year before, and listen to the difference of first of all, the quality of the music, and also the content. And this is what an artist is supposed to do: is always bring something new to the table. I don't want to bring another CD out that sounds like Codex Magica, quote unquote. Nothing wrong with it, but still, you got to bring something new. So maybe the Can't Fight the Feeling album was something new to show artists that you can do something else. You're not restricted just to talk about this subject or to be on this political, always anti-everything agenda.
Right. Yep. So yeah, the production also resonates. The shift from the six synths that people were used to listen to. Can you talk about the production aspects of Can't Fight the Feeling?
No, the production was basically I was listening to a lot of old stuff, and I just had the feeling I didn't want any more of the epic music. I wanted something I can, put in my car and listen to and feel good and relax to.
Yeah.
And not stress. Okay, it's all good, but when you're riding around and you don't want to be constantly hearing about Illuminati and this, that, and the third, or aliens or whatever. I'm enjoying the time, and when I'm enjoying my car, I want to enjoy listening to good music. So if I want to bump that in the house, okay, great. But I have a specific duty also to provide that for my listeners. So that was what I did.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you so far. Most rappers burn like meatloaf, bringing bread without a toast. 6 6 now will be the host that you all gonna go